Hi there. Welcome to She Spice. It's insane that somebody like Tyler Perry, who should do great, is getting blamed for wrecking things for dark performers. Dave Chapelle has been discussing it for a very long time, and presently it appears as though he's preparing for more. There are murmurs that Chappelle is at long last getting down on Tyler Perry for apparently selling out people of color. You know how it goes, anecdotes about Perry being power-eager and prepared to do anything to get what he would prefer. Regardless of whether it implies crossing his kindred dark performers, we're here to spill all the tea, so take a load off and prepare in light of the fact that this is going to get fascinating. So Dave Chapelle spilled some tea on Oprah's show about the business he was discussing, how he's somewhat of a connivance scholar. And notice this strange thing, they put each person of color in motion, pictures and address. Eventually Chapelle had this experience while recording a film with Martin Lawrence. He strolls into the trailer and sees a dress, reasoning it's some unacceptable one. Turns out it's for a scene where Martin's personality escapes prison by dressing Chapelle as a whore. Chapelle resembles, "Nah, I'm not doing that. It wasn't in the conversation." They attempt to pressure him, saying it's a humorous piece, yet he perseveres, saying he needn't bother with a dress to be entertained. The situation gets serious, with scholars, chiefs, and makers pushing, yet Chapelle stands firm. In the end, they think of another scene without the dress, and he's left considering, how could you compose that so quick? Dave simply didn't vibe with it, not on the grounds that wearing a dress is an issue all alone, but since he felt the business was attempting to corner dark craftsmen into taking the necessary steps for progress, they continued to dog him until they sorted out he wouldn't move Dave over that. This entire experience was an eye-opener. Wearing a dress took being told for him to draw an obvious conclusion, and he understood that this wasn't simply his battle. Loads of other people of color had been approached to do a similar. Martin Lawrence shook it in Enormous Mother's Home, Eddie Murphy pulled it off in the Nutty Teacher series, and Jamie Foxx made an imprint with his remarkable Monstrous Wanda on Unfiltered and Fabulous. Then you've got the W.A.N. siblings taking a stab at it with White Chicks Gracious. And we can't forget the less effective Janaman. No doubt some would prefer to fail to remember that one in the blend of this. Tyler Perry takes the cake. His meta-establishment discusses critical achievement and a case in the diversion world. Kevin Hart rang in, saying specialists need to safeguard their image and not cross specific limits. He shared that up to that point he hadn't confronted any difficulties with his own convictions when inquired as to whether he at any point ran into the entire wearing a dress situation. Kevin was probably not confronted. That dress difficulty got to have limits and cutoff points. He underscored the significance of knowing you're a brand and safeguarding it consistently. Kevin referenced turning down a solicitation to spill a ball on a syndicated program since it would make him look silly safeguarding the brand. You know, his 9-year-old Oscar candidate show name. However, here's the wind. Simply a year after the fact, Kevin wound up on a CNL drama wearing a dress. Fans weren't having it and blamed him for being a sellout and phony. So presently individuals are asking, for what reason did Kevin Hart end up in a tough situation? Well, it appears as though it was only his chase. Wants to go through the Hollywood rite of entry. See, the entire thing isn't special to Kevin. It resembles a custom that numerous male celebs before him have gone through. It's essential for a greater connivance, or possibly that is what a few people accept. Yet you got to comprehend that is not my case. Right, goodness, I didn't. No one claimed that dress right except for me. That is correct. No one let me know a $2 billion establishment. So Tyler Perry terminated back at Dave Chapelle in a me-eating, saying, "Look, Chappelle is perhaps the most astute person I've at any point seen in satire as well as in profound thought, assuming that is the manner by which it rolls in Hollywood. Cool. However, that ain't my story. No one advised me to wear that dress. However, for me, it's my $2 billion establishment, and it's forever been my decision. I've completed 19 films from that point forward, all by my own call. Perhaps it's different for other people, yet for me, it resembles investing in an energy uniform. I'm not a person who appreciates wearing a dress yet as an entertainer. It's an ensemble. It's like somebody going to Walmart. You put on your uniform for me. It's tied in with putting on that uniform, going out, making individuals chuckle, lifting them up, and giving them some consolation. That is the way. I see it, Chief. I have a whole new content with all new lines, endlessly pages. I have an hour to realize this stuff. Specialist was like by no means on the off chance that Brandon feels really awkward with playing this character, then he can stroll from this, cuz you don't need to do anything that you feel really awkward doing. However, hold up is that the entire story, Tyler, a few straight entertainers are guaranteeing Perry's driving them into gay jobs making position show, entertainer and voice mentor. Brandon J. spilled the tea on TikTok dishing about the battles on Perry's Meet, the earthy colored set by J. It resembles 7 days of shooting packed into a day with Perry tossing last-moment script. Pete changes at entertainers J, who went for a job as a harassed secondary school fella, spills every one of the subtleties, so get this, the entertainer got onto Tyler Perry, not flowing with the first content, and that implied everybody needed to scramble to learn new lines on the spot completely. Picked by the huge manager himself, as per J. Perry went full-on off the cuff, modifying the whole content not too far off and taking care of the lines to the entertainers, and get this, on the off chance that you didn't get on Speedy, Perry would drop your terminated bomb. But it doesn't stop there. As Jay hustles to get those new lines down, Perry chooses all of a sudden that Jay's personality will be gay and pulverizing on his secondary school menace. That's right, not what Jay pursued at his tryout. Perry drops the bomb like I maintain that Jeffrey should be, and has a keen interest in his domineering jerk. Insane, directly in the second piece of the adventure. Jay spills that his most memorable response was to hit up his representative, who fundamentally said you don't need to take this in the event that you're not cool with it. However, after some serious contemplation, Jay concluded it was an opportunity he didn't have any desire to pass up. So notwithstanding Perry tossing in the latest possible moment contort and making the person gay, Jay felt free to assume the part okay, we should plunge into this entire thing in Hollywood and sort out what's going on, so you begin asking for what reason they continue to do this. For what reason is it generally these extreme youthful siblings winding up in dresses? It's a head-scratcher, right? To make quick work of it, we got to return to the roots. This entire thing has been around since servitude days, and they even had a name for it. Buck separating. Let me break the beginning of buck breaking genuine fast. Some time ago, for the most part in the Caribbean, slave proprietors utilized this wrecked strategy against male slaves who were viewed as defiant. They'd make the oppressed person drop his jeans, twist around a tree stump, and afterward, whip him genuine terrible. The objective was to debilitate him, so he was unable to oppose the ER that followed. The white slave proprietor would feel free to do the unspeakable directly before the oppressed man's better half envisions the injury of that presently. Quick forward to now, and you see a comparative energy solid people of color, even in Hollywood, wind up in dresses very much as they supported. Then it plays with your head, particularly for youngsters seeing these good examples changing around that way. It resembles they're playing mind games doing it before fans, family, the entire arrangement that is the association people are impacting the world, forever rehashing the same thing, however, in an alternate structure, insane, right? It's sort of entertaining. In a screwed-up manner, you notice the example they continuously get areas of strength for these masculine fellows first, like they weren't sprucing up in secondary everyday schedule, school continuously shaking that manly energy, and there's no need to focus on being gay or whatever, assuming that is your style. Do you know judgment, except for we're discussing straight people of color here? Look at how they enter Hollywood, all solid and sure, then peep how they leave. It's an entirety different scene, and you can't simply fault the business alone. These folks pursue the decision to oblige it. Tyler Perry even said in that interview to Dave Chapelle that no one constrained him into anything. It's a similar arrangement. They enthusiastically do homage to the plan. And just to step up, we got to consider them responsible too. They're prepared to do anything for that power, regardless of whether it implies going through this peculiar custom the business resembles. How terrible do you need this cash? Are you down to sell out your kin, push a specific plan, and weaken yourself before everybody? Very much like the buck-crushing spirit in the day. Yet presently, it's insane that these fellows are energetically permitting it. Circumstances are different, and presently it's a decision. By the day's end, Kevin doesn't need to stress over the things individuals will say regarding him wearing a dress due to the long queue of dress-wearing individuals before him. Mother's Home 1, 2, and 3, I've never seen media in a jean suit. I think she wears dresses so presently. I'm saying, for what reason are we singling out unfortunate little Kevin Hart, since it was his chance next? Even feline Williams need to say in a meeting regarding Kevin Hart. Shaking out dress on SNL, he resembles look nothing maybe more entertaining than a person in a dress, particularly person of color. Feline discussions about decisions and how Kevin doesn't need to pressure since there's This entire history of individuals shaking dresses in parody, like huge mom's home in media, however, at that point, Feline drops the Illuminati bomb. He's idiom, a few people are against it. And it includes some significant pitfalls when you're hostile to Illuminati. You get smacked right upside the head. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.